Good evening. A former Columbia Fuels driver has now been formally charged with drunk and dangerous driving in connection with a tanker crash on the Malahat earlier this year. The impact sent thousands of liters of gasoline into the Gold Stream River and left Columbia Fuels on the hook for a massive environmental cleanup. Kristen Robinson reports.
It was a devastating and potentially deadly crash. The driver of this Columbia Fuels tanker crashed his truck on the Malahat last April, spilling 40,000 liters of gasoline into the nearby Gold Stream River. Nearly 6 months later, criminal charges have been approved.
Charges have now been approved and sworn against James Allen Charles Smith in connection with the tanker crash on the Malahat on April 16th this year.
34-year-old James Allen Charles Smith of Nanaimo, who was allegedly behind the wheel of the tanker at the time, is charged with impaired driving, driving with a blood alcohol level over .08, and dangerous driving.
Came around the last corner and there he was on his side.
Norm Dyson saw the tanker at the top of the Malahat before the crash.
Well, it was having trouble staying in the lane. I'm not sure why, kicking up great clouds of dust and getting close to the edges and the center median all the way down. He was having trouble controlling the truck.
Smith was taken to Victoria General Hospital after the crash, where RCMP alleged he assaulted one of their officers. But no assault charges were approved by Crown, which has been working on the file since July, when RCMP handed over the results of their investigation.
This charge assessment has taken somewhat longer than most of them do. Initially, generally when there's an accident involved, it takes a little bit longer for police to get the initial file to us because they have to complete their collision report. Once the file was received in the Crown's office, in this case, there were some aspects of the evidence that required careful consideration and review by Crown before charges were ultimately approved.
Columbia Fuels fired Smith in May, citing a breach of the company's safety and driving practices. He is set to make his first court appearance November 24th. Meantime, the environmental costs are still unclear. Gold Stream Hatchery says few salmon are entering the Gold Stream River, and there are concerns the effects of the massive fuel spill are to blame. Columbia Fuels is paying for the entire cleanup and says the ecosystem is recovering.